Welcome back to Central Intelligence Bros. I'm your host, Wesley. Today we're headed to one of the most charming, historic, and mysterious cities in America, Charleston, South Carolina. This is episode 2 in our 12-part deep dive into the secret of treasure hunt by Byron Preiss. Charleston is a city of cobblestone streets, antebellum architecture, and a history that stretches back centuries. But it's also believed to be the location of one of Byron Preiss's buried treasure casks. And today we're going to walk through every clue, every landmark, and every theory to see if we can get closer to finding it. The Charleston puzzle is one of the most visually striking in the entire book. The image believed to match Charleston, image 2, depicts a woman wearing a flowing dress adorned with a palmetto tree, South Carolina state symbol. She holds a white rose, and behind her are architectural elements that strongly resemble structures found in Charleston. Charleston is often called the Holy City, known for its abundance of church steeples rising above the skyline, founded in 1670. It's a city shaped by colonial ambition, revolutionary fervor, and Civil War conflict. When Byron Preiss crafted these puzzles, he learned heavily into local history, and Charleston is rich with symbolic potential. From the Battery to Rainbow Row, from White Point Garden to the Old Exchange Building, Charleston offers dozens of locations where a treasure could be hidden, each with layers of meaning. The palmetto tree in the image, that's no coincidence. If it's the state tree of South Carolina, appearing on the state flag and deeply tied to Charleston's defense against British forces during the Revolutionary War. So this is the verse and image breakdown. The verse most often paired with the Charleston image is verse 6. It begins, "Of all the romance retold, men only of them all, from the middle kingdom and the last panel, at the base of a tall tree." Treasure hunters have interpreted Middle Kingdom as a reference to China, possibly alluding to Charleston's historic Chinese connections, or perhaps a symbol hidden in the city's architecture. The last panel could be a reference to plaque or mural, and at the base of a tall tree seems to point us toward one of Charleston's many iconic oaks or palmettos. The artwork shown also shows an outline that resembles the shape of Charleston's harbor and hints of Rainbow Row's pastel buildings. Landmarks and possible dig sites. White Point Garden is one of the most commonly suggested dig sites. It sits at the southern tip of the Charleston Peninsula with cannons, monuments, and sweeping harbor views. The park is filled with old trees, including palmettos, and could match the verse's tall tree clue. Another candidate is the area around the Old Exchange and Provost Dungeon. This historic building dates back to the Revolutionary era and has numerous plaques and inscriptions that could match the last panel clue. The Battery, with its historic seawall and stately mansions, also fits several parts of the puzzle. From there, you can face the water, find all trees, and encounter memorial plaques, all elements suggested by the verse. Failed searches and past attempts. In the early 2000s, several groups sought permission to dig in White Point Garden, but the city denied permits due to the park's historic status. Unofficial attempts had been made, but no verified finds had been reported. One dig took place near a statue in the park that seemed to align perfectly with elements of the image, but no cast was found. Some hunters now believe the clues point away from the obvious tourist spots and into smaller, less visited gardens or churchyards. Charleston's strict preservation laws make this one of the harder hunts to physically pursue, but that hasn't stopped theories from flourishing. My analyst and closing thoughts. After comparing the verse image and Charleston's geography, I believe that most likely hiding place is within sight of both the harbor and significant Revolutionary War monuments. White Point Garden remains a strong candidate, but so does the area near the Old Exchange Building. The key may lie in the phrase last panel, suggesting a specific plaque, mural, or engraved marker that's literally the last in a sequence. Charleston's cask has evaded discovery for decades, but with modern mapping and historical research, we may be closer than ever to pinpointing its location. That's it for today's episode of Central Intelligence Bros. If you're in Charleston and feel inspired to hunt, remember to always respect private property and follow the law. The thrill of the hunt is in the journey, not just the prize. Until next time, keep questioning everything.